Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to isolate an angle to the race we might look at as the path to finding the winner. Well, Sunday racing at Sha Tin this weekend, and it's a Group 1 day, the Stewards Cup, one of the best and oldest Group 1s in Hong Kong. A little bit different this year. We haven't had Stewards Cup without Golden 60 for quite some time, but that's the case on Sunday, and there's plenty of information all around the Hong Kong Jockey Club website, news, views, interviews, everything you need to take a look at the big race. I'm going to look at a couple of the support races on what I must say is a cracking support card. And the first one we're going to look at here is race 3, where our winning factor is the map. So this Class 3 over 1200 metres does have some talented horses in it, but I think the market is going to see it as a 2-horse face-off, and I agree. The exciting 3-year-olds Wunderbar and Ka Ying Rising fought out the finish of a race over this course and distance on New Year's Day, and I think they'll fight this one out too. So for me, it's a study of 2 horses. Now, with barely a struck match between them last time, Wunderbar and Ka Ying Rising, and now a 3-pound weight swing to Ka Ying Rising, I'm sure that certainly in the traditional view, that would make Ka Ying Rising the horse to beat. There's a lot of discussion these days about whether weights are important. Well, I'm in the camp that says yes, weights do matter, but they aren't everything. Now, to get a proper perspective on what we're dealing with here, I'm going to show you both of Wunderbar's runs, and this is his first 1200 metre attempt back in December. This is race 260. He's in gate 9, bright blue colours, and Wunderbar, he begins very well, something characteristic in his career so far. But the wider gate means James McDonald has to ask him to press forward rather than be caught wide, and Wunderbar takes his cue a little bit too seriously, then wants to fight the rider as he tries to steady the pace during the mid-race section. Now that costs him valuable energy, and when Mugen, who's been able to sit back patiently, emerges with a big finish, Wunderbar has no answer, although he still comfortably beats the rest. Now, a terrific effort in the circumstances, but it was no surprise next time he ran that James McDonald wanted to look for cover to try and relax Wunderbar. And this is the race where he and Ka Ying Rising fight out the finish. And take special note in the early stages from gate 2, Ka Ying Rising, blue with red sleeves, just a touch slow away. This is race 305, and Ka Ying Rising doesn't actually miss the start there, but just hesitates before his natural speed from the low draw quickly takes him through to sit 5th behind Wunderbar, who is indeed looking to be led by something in the early stages. Now, Ace Victory, arrival again on Sunday, and Super Fortune in the bright green oblige, and they come across. McDonald gets his cover, but Wunderbar still wants to argue over the appropriate speed. Ka Ying Rising, he looks more relaxed a couple of lengths further back, and Zach Purton brings him out at the 300 metres, very much looking the winner. Even as Wunderbar gets a run inside. They settle down to a brilliant war with only a bob of their head between them, and you can see Mugen this time a distant third. So probably both a stride before and a stride after the line. Ka Ying Rising was the winner there, but Wunderbar got the bob of the heads. And I've seen a quote from Zach Purton saying that McDonald was lucky to get the run up the inside. Well, that may be true, but it's still difficult to win after fighting the rider for so much of the race as Wunderbar did. And this time, this race on Sunday, well, it's going to present a whole new puzzle for both of these brilliant jockeys, and not the least of the problems is a lack of speed. So on the map, we're looking for a front runner. Now think back to our replay. Ace Victory showed as much speed as Wunderbar in that. He moves now from gate 10 to gate 1, and that might make him the leader this time, with McDonald again looking for cover behind him, hoping to get a more relaxed version of Wunderbar. Meanwhile, you can recall Ka Ying Rising from gate 2 last time, just slightly slow to begin, and He'd also done that at his debut win in Class 4. Now, moving to the outside gate here, a slightly slow beginning again, could put him in a sticky spot out wide behind the speed, but that was also only his second start, and with the added experience, maybe a better start, Purton might be able to press very positively, looking to get across the field to offset that gate. In either case, it isn't straightforward for him, while Wunderbar's tendency to over-race wouldn't be helped by a slow speed, even if he has the inside draw. But the tip from me in race 3 is Wunderbar, his winning factor, the map. Now, as I've pointed out, there are a couple of potential challenges for both these horses, but they're very exciting 3-year-olds. They dominate the race. I'm sure they're going to dominate the market. But I think the thing that separates them this time is not the 3 pounds weight turnaround, which would favour Kaying Rising, but the map, which I think favours Wunderbar. The other race I want to take a look at is race 6, and our winning factor here, the Debutant. A decent sort of a Class 4, and there looks to be a few runners with some claims to winning it. Now, Super Goldie, he was a good winner at his first race start. Triumphant Warrior had excuses second up after a terrific Happy Valley debut. The unraced Geneva has looked good at the trials, and I feel there will be fans for horses like Gangnam Star, Po On Way and Fantastic Choice as well. But my focus is particularly on 2 horses, Triumphant Warrior and Geneva. Now, this is race 192, gate 2, blue and white with red sleeves, and Triumphant Warrior on debut is a touch slow from the gates as a 30-to-1 chance, but he's also quickly into a good spot thereafter for Jerry Chow and following a genuine speed through the race in good style. He does pretty much everything right, emerging from amongst the chasers to be closest at the finish behind the all-the-way winner Scotch Tycoon. Now, that was a nice first attempt from this horse, and he didn't really get a chance to improve on that at his second run at Happy Valley when he got clobbered at the start by another runner in a skirmish just after the start and spat out to last. So ignore that last run. I think the one that we've just seen is the one to assess him on, but he's going to bump into a very nice horse from the trials from the David Hall yard. And here's Geneva's latest trial. Now, this is January 9, he's in gate 5, orange with white sleeves, in fact, the Tully Bagirl colours that we'll see later in the card. And Geneva's big white face is one of the first out of the gates for Hugh Bowman. And really the thing I want to highlight here is how very easily Geneva does everything. Bowman leads on him, never really asks him to improve, and in fact is easing him back to his rivals in the final 100 metres just to make it exciting for the viewers. And that is how Geneva has won all his trials, 2 in Hong Kong and 1 in New Zealand, with a minimum of pressure. And when we take a look at the map, I think that helps him as well. Now, Pingwu Sparkle from the outside showed plenty of speed when he worked hard to lead in his debut run, and he faces an even stiffer prospect now from gate 14. Another unraced horse, Le Meilleur Jaune, he's been a mixed bag at the trials, but led in his latest appearance there. While we saw that Geneva gets the start right, has the pace to be wherever Bowman wants him. Triumphant Warrior and Gangnam Star also get a nice run, but some of the other chances I mentioned aren't as well placed. Now, Super Goldie won from gate 1 at his debut run. Now he goes to gate 9, not quite as simple. And the draws for Po On Way and Fantastic Choice also will put them at a disadvantage. But it's also his status as a first starter that puts my attention on Geneva, and I'm going to show you some statistics around debutants. So this is a stat I like to revisit from time to time, as talented unraced horses in the Hong Kong system do have some advantages. Now, look at this table. It deals with all debutants in Class 4, that is, horses who've never had a race before anywhere in the last 10 or so seasons. Over all horses from all yards, win rate around about 7.5%, which is not spectacular, but you see some trainers do a better job than others at that. And also note that many of the trainers on this top end of the table exceed market expectations. So it's always a good place to start looking for a winner. However, those stats improve out of sight if you do a little bit of fine tuning. So this second graphic deals with debutants which are in the market at under $11, $11 or under. This is the same group of horses, and we're only looking at the ones that the market sees as strong chances. Now, this fine-tuning with any group of horses, admittedly, will bring serious improvements in its strike rate, of course. And we can see that plenty of the trainers are not better against expectations when assessed this way, but they do train a higher rate of winners. And look at the stats for Geneva's trainer, David Hall. If you dropped out his first starters who are not strong in the market, you lose 79 runners, but not a single winner. And he's not the only one. So the tip from me in race 6 is Geneva. His winning factor, the debutant. Statistics show that horses who are in the market at their very first race start in Hong Kong in Class 4 do have a high strike rate, and I'm sure that the trials that we've seen from Geneva are going to ensure he will be in that situation, and his trainer David Hall, one of our best in this sector. Well, that's it from the winning factor this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.